Hello, hi, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Jim. We talk about, listen to, and do all sorts of things musicy. Today, I've been listening to this. This is The Kindness of Strangers by Spock's Beard. It came out in 1997. Inside Out Records, 7 tracks, and 5 band members. So this is the third album this band put out, and is mostly written by, I think, Neil Morse, who did all the lead vocals, played piano, lots of synths, acoustic and occasional electric guitar. We also had his brother Alan Morse playing electric guitar, cello, mellotron and vocals, Dave Meros, bass and vocals, Ryo Okamoto, Hammond organ and mellotron, and Nick DeVigilio, of course, on drums, percussion, and more vocals. It has to be said, this is a sensational record. The level of skill, and I don't know if it's sort of deliberately sort of showing off sort of skill, but the technical prowess of these players is just astonishing. It really, really is. There are 7 tracks on here. We've got 3 really quite long ones, like 10 minutes and 15, and then scattered amongst the rest of it, we have sort of 4.5, 5-minute tracks to make up the rest of the record. I'd say some of these pieces are probably more accessible than others. There's one track in particular called June, which feels probably the most accessible or easy to listen to if you don't know the sort of music song that Spock's Beard has ever put out, to my mind. It does feel like it's a proper sing-along sort of song, and would be a sort of a properly good crowd-rousing piece of music in one of their shows. But amongst the rest of what we've got here are some really, really intricate, and to use a word I've read recently about sort of describing the music, labyrinthine. And by that I mean it's just a kind of, you know what a labyrinth is. It's a maze. There's sort of paths that lead you down a dead end, and other paths that sort of lead onto something else that has developed. It kind of really does describe this music. It's so overtly labyrinthine and cerebral. It's kind of got that sort of really sort of thought about and designed. And design makes it sound like it's sort of I don't know quite how to composed. Perhaps that's a better word. Composed music to entertain, obviously, but to really keep your attention. It's not music just to sort of listen to and pass you by and you sort of hum along and tap your toes to. You've really got to get involved and sort of properly listen to it and really, really get into it, because there is so much happening. It's multi-layered. And I think this is often the case with sort of progressive music, that it rewards repeat listening, because there is so much to take in that you're never going to get it all on a first listen. And I never do. I never do. I get a sort of a hint of what they're getting at probably on the first listen, but it will take me 3 or 4 goes to sort of go back to these records and sort of so it's absolutely a truism of whatever it is, whether it's like Haken or Yes or Tool or whoever it may be. The more you listen to it, the more rewarding it becomes, because there is a great deal of stuff to unwrap. It's a great record. It's a really, really good record. I don't know if this is probably the best place to start if you don't know the band. I don't know how many of these records I've listened to now by Spock's Beard. Probably 5 or 6 perhaps on the channel. But they are one of the one of the bands I've listened to probably more than any other on the channel. And to say that it is complicated music is a bit of an understatement. I mean, it's not unlistenable by any means at all. It is fairly straightforward to listen to, but the more you listen to it and the deeper you want to listen to it, the more you realise is there. And you can, I guess, superficially just listen to a track or two and go, okay, that's lovely, that's nice, and move on. But you'd kind of be doing it a disservice and doing yourself a disservice as well, because what is presented to you is truly a work of art. Very, very, very good indeed. The amount of vocal harmonies on here, and I have noticed it before, but I'm really noticed it on this album, are astonishing. And I think everybody who is on this record contributes vocally. So obviously you got Neil Morse, but his brother Alan, you got Dave Meros, who's on the bass, he's putting down some backing vocals as well, and Ryo Okamoto. Actually, did he do vocals? No, he didn't actually, but everyone else did. And then Nick DiVigilio did vocals as well. So 4 out of 5 are providing sort of harmonies to the piece, and I think that really sort of not pads it out in a sort of negative way, but sort of builds on the overall sound. Nick DiVigilio's drumming, we all know he's a great drummer, but by God, this is a showcase for him. There is some amazing stuff going on here. Dave Meros is not, I guess, one of those bass players that is talked about in the same sentence as maybe Chris Squire or Geddy Lee. But his bass playing on here, I've never really sort of focused in on it too much before, but it really is very, very driving. I mean, I don't think he's playing a Rickenbacker, but it's kind of got that sort of very attacking sound that Chris Squire has. And it's just fantastic. It's such a, as I say, a driving, prominent and forward sound. I think it's a really, really good mix to sort of present it in such a way. Ryo Okamoto's organ playing is cool. He's got a lot of stuff going on there, but it does say all the synths are done by Neil Morse. So a lot of the synthia sounds on here are obviously not coming from Ryo at all. I wonder, perhaps, I think, because I saw them live last year, and was it earlier this year? Anyway, I saw them here in Milton Keynes, and I thought that Ryo Okamoto was doing everything on the keyboard, so maybe he's sort of expanded his role now that Neil Morse is no longer in the band. And Alan Morse's guitar playing is incredible. A real demonstration. We've got proper soaring solos on here. I said, I think, on one of the videos that it's a real distillation of great prog rock bands from the 70s, all sort of compressed into this homogenous whole of Spock's beard. There's a lot of Genesis, there's a lot of Yes, there was Gentle Giant, and I absolutely heard some Pink Floyd in there as well. And I think they're sort of able to bring all these different sort of influences and inspirations into a modern production and a modern sound, and I think they've done a great job with them. I think it's a very, very, very good record. I'm very, very pleased with it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the record. If you don't know it, go and get it. It's out there. There must be loads of copies of this out there on eBay if that's where you want to go, but I'm sure it's still available brand new. Spock's Beard, The Kindness of Strangers. It's on Inside Out, and yeah, add it to the collection. I'll see you on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim, over and out.